So we're in 2024 now, and I think we might finally realise that TikTok is a mistake. If you're watching this video, there's probably a chance that you know this already, but we are just so collectively bored that on TikTok we will make just about anyone famous. And in the last month, this has happened to a never-seen-before degree, because the TikToker we're talking about today, his name's Beavo. He's actually lost his mind. It's made so much funnier when you realise why he came up, because normally when someone blows up out of nowhere, you know, it's for some reason. But with Beavo, the reason is maybe the most underwhelming TikTok gimmick of all time.
Let's get right into that, look at that, bang.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, there is no punchline here, there is no payoff. There was a guy at my school that ate in a weird way, he didn't get TikTok famous, he just kind of got bullied. And with that in mind, it's kind of confusing me why Beavo is now so relevant. Because relevant is a term that is thrown around a lot recently, but Beavo has now got over 1 million followers. I mean, if I knew that was the game a couple of months ago, I probably would have started a TikTok eating account. But we're too far gone now, so if you want to soften the blow, feel free to drop a sub. To be honest, at this rate, I might need it. Well, he might not need to subscribe. I think he probably needs help. Yeah, the guy's really towing the line with this. I mean, he is actually living meal to meal here. You know, he's one mouthful away from dying. And it did finally get to the point where he turned up in hospital.
I'm still coming for little T, bro. I don't care about this, man. I still get in the ring. But yeah, listen, update soon.
Do not ask me the colour of... I mean, Beavo, I hope you're okay. If that caption is to be believed, you might be the first man in history to get a pork chop taken out your stomach. But if I know anything about TikTok captions, I know that they would never lie, especially when it comes to Beavo. Because Beavo is honest. I mean, he did kind of neck off with a random girl in a pub while his girlfriend was at home. But you know what? He's TikTok famous. He can kind of do what he wants. We'll get to that in more detail later. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think we should allow TikTokers to do just about anything. Hopefully they start with like, I don't know, thinking, but it's not looking likely, so we're just gonna have to press on. But yeah, in Beavo's case, alcohol just probably isn't a good mix for him, because he got hammered and went on a stream recently, and he was spitting some truths.
But majority of everything you see on TikTok is fake.
What? Nah, I never knew that.
If you're watching this video, you probably already know that's true, but it is kind of like an unsaid thing. A lot of TikTokers' careers are kind of based on that model, including the guy in the hood in the background. He's definitely texting Beavo telling him to shut up. That is Ed Matthews too as well. You might know who he is. He's also going to become relevant later because he might have had a bad influence on Beavo, but he was present for all this, and immediately after Beavo exposed everybody else, he then just did unprovoked go on to expose himself. And I'm not going to lie, I have no idea why.
What would you give me an example of fake?
Well, it semi was fake. Well, I went homeless for one day. I went to stay with Aggie, and then I moved back in with my dad. So my mum did kick me out.
Oh, so that wasn't real?
No, I was homeless. Well, I wasn't homeless.
Yeah, I would probably take that one to the grave, I'm not gonna lie. Exposing yourself like that when you're coming up, it's kind of insane. He did actually do a video follow-up on his own TikTok page where he did say he was hammered, as if we didn't know that already. But to be honest, I don't think it really changes much. And the homeless lie is not the only thing that Beavo wishes he could take to the grave, because a lot of Beavo's old stuff has been coming out, and it's not great.
Well, listen, I'm rapping, innit? I'm rapping, I'm trapping, I'm doing a bit of everything. Kiddie, Willie, Rizzy.
Yeah, so if this was his career before going viral for eating stuff on TikTok, then to be honest, and in the nicest way possible, he is probably lucky he didn't go homeless. For reference, this is the video where he said he was going homeless, and I'll let you make your own mind up, but to be honest, it kind of just shows to me that he will do just about anything to get famous on TikTok.
I'm here with
Brandon Beavis, known as Beavo.
and what's been going on?
Like typically, if you see someone's track record and there's a lot of videos of them doing weird stuff, that normally means that they are just trying to get famous on TikTok or social media by any means.
Not too great, Aggie. I've recently become homeless, currently in Central. I sort of on the verge of blaming TikTok.
Yeah, you blame TikTok. I've seen that one before. They say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but he did still get very famous off this. So really, the moral of the story here is probably just do whatever you want, and if you're lucky, you'll probably end up being like Beavo.
Beavo, pizza, bit of pizza. Look, you know the rules. Wait out. What was that? Out of 10, out of 10.
Yeah, on second thoughts, I'm not gonna lie to you, maybe just do the opposite of what Beavo has done, because everything that's followed this blow up has been kind of a disaster. I mean, I'm sure the guy's made a lot of money, but even before he did properly blow up, his life was kind of paved by trauma from TikTok.
But the teeth situation, how did that happen? Like, I never saw the video of you explaining how it happened.
To say back in, what was this, before I blew up again on TikTok, I got pushed over. That's my only bad, like I say, like my only bad fan experience I've had, and that was in Southend, so I rarely go Southend anymore. But
yeah, I don't know if Southend will ever recover from that, but this one is definitely real. I mean, his whole account is now based off the effects of this injury. I mean, it might be the most profitable injury of all time. If you can think of a better one, comment it down below. But with this one, he definitely is telling the truth, because I had a little look on the internet, and it turns out he did start a GoFundMe way back then. And in the end, to be fair, it did all turn out well, because I'm sure since then he's raised at least $3,000 from his TikToks. I mean, the more I talk about this, the more it seems like a good idea. If you want to help my channel out beyond like commenting or something, feel free to meet me in Southend and like push me over. It'll hurt, but it will have a happy ending for the channel. But when it comes to happy endings of Beavo, I think this is about where it ends, because from this point on, it just keeps getting worse.
big up the brownie, big up Ed Matthews, big up the boxing. Cheers!
Nice.
Oh, that's banging.
I mean, the look on your face while you were eating that tells me it was anything but banging. But you know what, Beavo? You've proved you're honest. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, the guy he's with is Ed Matthews. We saw him earlier in the video. I don't know much about him, so let me know if I'm wrong. But I feel like he is just here because Beavo is doing bits on TikTok. I mean, that's not crazy of a proposition, you know. When the blood is in the water, the sharks are going to circle. I don't know why, but Beavo kind of does remind me of a shark. It's probably the teeth, but either way, that is beside the point. Realistically, this was the beginning of the end for Beavo, because after he met him, this is where he truly started to lose his mind.
My fucking...
Yeah, so food is clearly not the only thing he loves shoving down his throat. He doesn't chew, but I'm gonna guess in that situation, he was probably pretty heavy with the teeth. And then the funniest bit, in my opinion, is as he's walking away, he starts giving like an in-depth analysis, as if he is doing like a food review on TikTok.
Guy, you know. Bro, too active with it. Wait, a little review on that. A tongue game was shit, I'll be big up the tongue game. Big up Beavo. Out of 10. Fucking moody 6, bro.
Yeah, so that is the face of a man who might have let it go to his head. Like, even in isolation, just necking on with someone and immediately walking away is a little bit weird. I probably didn't need to tell you that one, but it does get worse. I mentioned earlier in the video that he does have a girlfriend, and she does actually predate, like, the blow-up. She was there in the trenches with him while he was rapping, and their old videos together are kind of pure.
Salad, bread, and whatever this is.
Whatever that is, that's nice. You made me taste it. I've had a bit of already because I was hungry, but let's rate the chips. What are you going to rate first?
At least in comparison to everything else that followed. Yeah, as you can imagine, and this might come as a shock, she was not happy about this.
About who I'm gonna die of stress. I don't care. I have a real life job. Like, I'm not
This
the one
is
that
just a
I'm not the
hobby.
one that needs TikTok to survive. I don't need TikTok to pay my rent.
Beavo
I
literally
don't need
begs it
TikTok to
off
pay
of
my
Aggie
bills.
so he can survive. He had to beg Aggie to stay in his house so he wasn't homeless on the streets, bro.
Yeah, so this quickly got bad for him, and to be honest, it's not like he's trying to uphold like a crazy reputation. The guy does literally just swallow food, but from then he just couldn't escape what he did, because it was literally following him everywhere. On that stream we watched earlier, people were taking digs, and it's clear to see that it really was getting to him.
Oi, dinner.
Bizzo donated £5.
Thank you.
Beavo, what was it like being with Sydney? Was it love at first sight? Well for you anyway, as Sydney don't know where she was looking.
That's Sydney on a burner, bro.
Yeah, this is the exact moment he realised he was probably never going to live this one down, and he weren't having it. He threatened to walk.
None of that.
Yeah, chat, chill. Chill. Don't do that, chat. Obviously, they do TCS and
Turn it off.
that.
I'll walk out.
Pure terror in those eyes, you know. I think at this point he realised he kind of had to confront this, and he did it on TikTok. He did apologise, but if you're expecting this to be like a genuine heartfelt apology, well, I hate to break it to you, but that's not what you're gonna get.
I've had a heavy weekend. Big up Ed. It's made me come back to reality a bit that maybe I got too big for my boots. I'm calling this the Last Supper because I'm taking time off TikTok, I'll be real.
I mean, I'm not even trying to criticise the guy. A man has got to eat. I think this might actually be the first social media apology where a curry is like the main component of the shot, but he's consistent, I guess. I mean, he didn't break the gimmick for the sake of an apology.
I just want to
reevaluate myself. Everything did get too big for me. I've gained so many followers.
Yeah, most importantly, in this video, he did hammer home that he was going to be taking a break.
Yeah, Last Supper. This is the last one for a couple of weeks minimum, even till next year. So big up the dinners. You know the rules.
Potentially for months, as he said, but I'll let you take a guess as to whether he actually followed through with this.
Dinner, you know the rules, we're back.
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. He literally came back 9 hours later. I mean, I would be lying if I ever thought this guy was genuine with his apology.
Just address the Sydney situation because it's been a bit sticky in these last couple of days. Yeah, she's a very good girl. I have a lot of time for her. I do really like her, I'll be real in it. And when I was with Ed and I'm doing crazy stuff with Ed and stuff like that, it sort of not turned me into a different person, but it just changed me a bit. And
well, it didn't change him into a different person. It just kind of changed him into a different person.
Big up to Sydney. I do apologise. Everyone just stop giving her hate in it because she's done nothing wrong. It has been me.
Yeah, so if a girl cheated on me and then went on a story and said big up to joking, I'm not gonna lie, I'm deleting socials. There is no coming back from that. And then with pure muscle memory, he just reverted back to exactly what he was doing the day before.
I really do. We can sort it out. But big up the Cosmos. Big up the dinner. Big up everyone backing me. Jeez.
And I do actually respect it, you know, it's kind of funny. To do a heartfelt apology and then to gulp food in the same TikTok is almost comedic genius. And I think by this point in the video, I am kind of coming around to Beavo. And so was that Sydney girl, apparently, because they were together shortly after.
The rules. Yeah, Christmas dinner, so gravy. You don't have gravy, do you?
I mean, you could say that was a happy ending, as long as he doesn't do it again.
Wait. Jeez, you know the rules.
Yeah, okay, Beavo, I'm done with you, mate. This is what TikTok will do to any man. Drop a like and a comment, or I will sentence you to dinner with Beavo. Otherwise, with all that said, I'll catch you in the next one.
So do you enjoy the fact that she's getting humped by other men?
I don't enjoy it. We just do it. We get on with it. We have fun. Yeah, well, I enjoy it. Yeah, I do enjoy it because it's...
You do enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, so going off the look in his eyes, he definitely doesn't enjoy it. So you might have heard of Beavo. It's probably better if you hadn't, but at this point, we kind of got to play the cards we're dealt. Beavo, to cut a long story short, got famous on TikTok for swallowing food in a weird way. I wish I could dress it up as something else, but it is as obsolete as that.
Let's get right into that. Look at that. Bang.
Yeah, that's a really cool party trick, mate. Here's 1.4 million followers. Now, I'm actually not here to dog on Beavo's come up, because the come up, in comparison to what he's doing now, it was actually pretty good. Unfortunately, though, that doesn't matter anymore, because he's gone from swallowing his food to swallowing his pride. He's got a new... I can't even keep a straight face when I'm recording this. He's got a new career path now, and I'll let him describe it in his own words.
That's a slave?
Yeah.
Having a job?
Yeah, of course it is, yeah. I have a job shagging.
Yeah, so wait...
Beavo shouldn't be real, but he definitely is. The guy's gone off the deep end, and it is hard to watch, but it is also very funny. For us, anyway. For him, it's probably tearing him up inside. But luckily for us, he has gone on the Whatever podcast to explain his new lifestyle. And the amount of clips that have come out of this, it's unprecedented. It really is.
All right, so open relationship. So what does that look like for you guys since you're in an open relationship?
Just sex galore.
Now, comparatively, these clips are actually somehow tame compared to what comes later. Beavo comes across like a teenager that just has lost their virginity. I mean, it's Beavo, to be fair, it's kind of to be expected, but he's the perfect guest for this podcast. I mean, they normally just get the stupidest guests on. They argue like their red pill philosophies against genuine idiots, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel, and this podcast with Beavo is no different.
But I'm not like trying to be dating like 5 chicks at a time, sleeping with multiple girls at a time. Not really my thing.
You would if you could, though.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, I know you could, but you probably would. Or you just...
What do you mean?
Now, I don't know what I expected from a guy that swallows food for a living, but Beavo, he is stupid. I know you can, but if you could, you would. Nobody in that room has any idea what he's trying to say. And that is probably for the best, because when he starts putting words in actual sentences, it gets bad. It gets really bad. I mean, they weren't even pressing him straight away. They did kind of let him dig his own grave. He was setting the scene, and when you hear him talk, well, it's kind of obvious why he has ended up in this position.
Like, do you remember dating how it was before you got clout?
Oh shit! I didn't even get a look in.
If you were on a dating app, bro, you'd have to message like 20 chicks, and then you'd get one date, and then 50% chance she's gonna
I had Tinder for a day before I met her, and I had 300 matches.
Yeah, Beavo is the man. He's Hugh Hefner. We have known this for a while, but that's old news. It's when the camera goes to his now girlfriend. That's when things get a little bit interesting.
Sophia, what about you?
I can't cook and I can't clean, but I can sew.
Yeah.
So.
Now, my favourite part of this clip is when Beavo gives that little under his breath.
Yeah.
He wants people to know that he is indeed involved in this exchange. And to be fair, if you sell your soul, you kind of want people to acknowledge it. In Beavo's case, he definitely took this way too far. I mean, he ran this bit into the ground very quickly.
Yeah. I have more of the masculine role.
She's the breadwinner.
Are you the breadwinner?
Yeah.
You're the breadwinner.
Yeah,
okay.
but when she tells you to bark, I woof. Do you know what I mean? So it's a saying. Woof. Tell me to bark.
Bark.
Woof woof.
Now, for some reason, she does actually look terrified. With the way his teeth are looking, it might just be because she thinks he might bite her. I wouldn't be surprised, but either way, the bit is just already so tired. Like, normally, if you're trying to sell this persona for money, like, you'll put your back into it. But he genuinely does have the enthusiasm of a dead man. And with that in mind, he might just genuinely be dead inside. And the more these clips go on, the more you kind of find out why.
She brings me friends. I bring her friends. Parties.
You bring her male friends?
Yeah.
Wait, so your male friends will...
Yeah.
What's the term? Shag?
Yeah,
Like
shag. Yeah, a lot of shagging. Yeah, just love it.
Yeah, the tone of his voice does indeed tell me that he does love it. The thing that sells it for me personally are just the looks over at her. She doesn't look back once, and she does just look disgusted.
A lot of shagging.
His eyes look sad. His eyes look very sad. They can look sadder, and you're going to see proof of that as this podcast goes on. Normally with these podcasts, you get a couple of good clips, but with this one, it's a humiliation ritual. It doesn't stop, and it's genuinely tearing me up inside watching this.
Have you always been into like this open dynamic?
Not really, no, until I met this slag here. And
I'm sure she is thrilled that you've just called her that. He looks over again, and of course, he doesn't get a look back.
the whole new world opened up, you know, so yeah, it's been amazing. It's been the best 3 months of my life, so.
Now, the main thing I'm asking myself is, at what point does this become a tragedy and not funny anymore? It's getting close. It's already getting close. And he's not even been pressed yet, so I am genuinely kind of terrified. Before we go on, I'll throw in some sad context. Not 3 months in, Beavo already has her name tattooed on his arm.
Yeah, we met Neon today. It went very well. I got Sophia's name tattooed on me yesterday. She loves it. I'm going to flip the camera now.
Do they do removals? Or, I mean, this can only end well. But yeah, that probably sets the scene to how Beavo is feeling through this. And even without the tattoo, people were picking up on the weird one-sidedness of this relationship. Doesn't call him a future husband, doesn't say she loves him, doesn't reciprocate when he holds her. The only time she smiled is when a super chat said she wears the pants. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. And it was bad, but as I've told you, it does get worse. Because this guy came on the podcast. I don't know what his name is or what he does, but I do know that he instantly started pressing Beavo.
You are a cuck.
Define a cuck, please.
A cuck is a person who purposely allows their women to get by other men.
For money, yeah.
He swallowed that one well, to be fair. So far, I mean, there's no hate in the room just yet. But he did keep pressing on this, and while I don't think Beavo really knows what a cuck is, it's fair to say that he probably wasn't vibing with it.
But you would be a cuck, correct?
I just don't like that saying, but we do it.
I mean, I'm sure you don't, but I mean, that's what a cuck is somebody who lets another man purposely fuck their woman, right? That's a cuck.
Yeah, if I'm a cuck, I'm a cuck, yeah.
Now, acceptance, in fairness, is normally a good sign, but I do just think that he just doesn't know what a cuck is, really. But either way, he did keep trying to justify his lifestyle. He doesn't seem convinced at all. It seems like he's making his arguments against his will. And even while he was arguing it, as you saw at the start of the video, he did slip up a couple of times.
So you enjoy the fact that your old lady gets...
I enjoy sex, she enjoys sex, other people enjoy sex, so why not? Let's just have fun.
So do you enjoy the fact that she's getting humped by other men?
I don't enjoy it. We just do it. We get on with it. We have fun. Yeah, all right. I enjoy it. Yeah, I do enjoy it because it's...
You do enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy it, yeah.
Genuinely, that is the least convinced I've ever been by someone saying something. He clearly doesn't feel this way, and it does show because his arguments gradually did get worse and worse.
Well, what's the big deal? Sex is sex. Adam and Eve had sex, so what's the big deal?
Now, in fairness, he's right, but I also don't see how that's relevant to absolutely anything. If Adam and Eve had an OnlyFans, I reckon God, he would have had a word. They didn't though, so ultimately, the comparison, again, means nothing. And it was at this point that this Andrew guy did start coming for Beavo properly. I think he kind of sensed that Beavo had nothing of any substance to say, and with that in mind, it does come across a little bit like an execution.
I don't know anyone that's had children that do.
You're not answering the question. The question is how many of those children are proud of their
parents? I don't know any children, so let's move on. Thank you very much.
You're not going to answer the question?
I don't know any children. How many times have I got to say?
He keeps reiterating that he doesn't know any children. One, that's completely irrelevant, I think, to what he's saying. Two, the more he says it, the less I believe him.
I don't know any children. How many times have I got to say?
No proof, but I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out Beavo does, in fact, know some children. But either way, as this exchange goes on, it kind of does feel like Beavo is slowly deepening the position he's in. He genuinely might have just jumped into this head first without thinking. His answers to these questions, at least, definitely give this impression.
You're pissing me off.
I know you don't have children. That's not what the question was. Listen to what the question is. How many of these people in this industry that you deal with who have children, whose children are proud of them?
Have you checked on your wife? She might be getting fucked at the minute.
See, I don't like seeing Beavo angry. He is so, unthreatening. He shouldn't do it, really. He should just be the nice guy. His argument, basically, is that you should chase money above everything else. Let me know what you think, but honestly, if you have this philosophy, I think you should probably reconsider. I mean, you might turn into Beavo, and that's probably something we all want to avoid. But either way, towards the end, he said something that does definitely expose him, in my opinion.
What? You got better things to do? You're going to go happy life, get fucked by a bunch of dudes, bro?
Yeah, your missus gets fucked on the daily, mate.
Yeah,
don't
the
worry.
only person that gets fucked around here is your missus.
He said your wife gets fucked as an insult. And I mean, knowing what Beavo's girlfriend does, this is pure projection. Using something as an insult comes with the implication that you think it's bad. So really, that kind of just does cap off the saddest interview of all time. But yeah, after this, he did storm out, which, in fairness, is to be expected.
The only person who Mrs.
Oh,
Wilson.
Let me move it on. I'm done anyway.
Everything on planet Earth.
Listen, go put your fake kids to sleep, yeah? Good night, God bless.
Weren't you about to rage quit? Weren't you about to show me? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That's right. Run away, cuck.
Well, he's loving it. Beavo, not so much. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised he didn't walk out earlier. I'm surprised he went on in the first place, although I probably shouldn't be. It is Beavo. This guy clearly will do anything for relevancy, including milk the situation, because he responded, and again, it's not great.
What's happening TikTok? Beavo here. I just wanted to come on here and basically clear up this whole whatever podcast. I didn't expect to get this much stick. I was basically told what to say, basically for their financial gain, which has made me look a complete mug on the internet now.
Well, I guess it is true. Beavo will do absolutely anything for money. Genuinely, seeing these clips before the wider reaction, I knew it was going to be bad. And he really is clawing, because clearly it's had a bit of a bad impact on his family as well.
I feel violated, I'm not going to lie, because it feels like, from me, I look like a devalued man. Again, my grandparents come from a Christian household. My dad's moaned at me for this whole podcast. I've family members, I've seen this podcast, and yeah, again, I've watched it back and it doesn't look good, which is annoying. But again, what can you do?
Maybe don't say the things he said. Maybe don't go on the whatever podcast. It seems simple, but it's Beavo, so I shouldn't expect anything less, to be honest. But yeah, there is one final detail I want to share, and arguably this is the worst detail.
We've promised to get our Instagrams promoted and paid. We're supposed to get paid $150, which we didn't.
So yeah, in conclusion, Beavo sold his soul for 150 quid. I actually feel empty at the end of this video. This is so pathetic. So yeah, like and sub, or I am going to doom you to become the next Beavo. And let's be real, I don't think a single person globally wants that.
I even bought her flowers. Look, they're on the table waiting for her to come back. Sophia, if you're watching this, please just come back. I love you. I don't know what's happened, but can we just sort this out?
His OnlyFans wife left him. I mean, who could have seen this coming? Beavo, by the way, mate, it's never this serious. Just put the phone down for everybody's sake. So you might remember Beavo. We've done a couple of videos on him at this point. He's been on this like weird humiliation tour. And it does kind of feel inevitable when a UK TikToker has their 2 weeks of fame. They basically always instantly fall off. And with this in mind, Beavo has been clawing to stay relevant. And the result of this desperacy, it's really hard to watch, to be honest.
Do you have a job?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you're a slave to money like me.
That's a slave?
Yeah.
Having a job?
Yeah, of course it is, yeah. I'll have a job shagging.
So
it's a good line. It actually is a good line. But it is funny in a way that you just know he's lying. The full podcast is something like 7 hours long. Kind of testament to the fact that people will do anything to stay relevant. And I kind of assumed it was going to be a low point, but somehow it's not. In the aftermath of the podcast, he has somehow got worse. And to be honest, it really is just a hard watch. Now, straight after the podcast, he was complaining that he didn't get paid. And when you hear what the amount was and how this was a problem for him, suddenly, it really has like a sad undertone to the rest of the video.
Supposed to get paid $150, which we didn't, which I don't care about the money, but
I don't care about the money, says the man who definitely cares about the money. Because as you're about to see, he's struggling. I mean, he is actually down bad. And you would think that if you go on a humiliation tour, you're at least going to get some money from it. But apparently not. Apparently this guy just did it for no reason.
The fall off is real, guys. I've come to terms. It's been a good journey.
I've been there, bro. I mean, granted, it was at uni when I was earning basically nothing. But you can claw it back, you know, just get a job. And it is ironic because on that whatever podcast, he did talk a lot of shit about people with 9-to-5s. But I can promise you, having a 9-to-5 is better than just living to humiliate yourself on the internet. Because at this point, it's all he's got left. And he was really hammering home this broke point.
What's gone on? Why's my views dropped? My life's been a lie.
Now, at this point, I feel like we all know this is a publicity stunt, but in my mind, that actually makes it sadder, because he actually did start asking for donations, whether it's real or not. So this could be some, like, 4D chess or something. But either way, the way he talks down to people that work 9-to-5s when they are unequivocally better than him, you can kind of just see in his eyes that behind the facade, he is hurting.
Big up to everyone that's basically gifted a penny, a pound, a fiver, 10p, 20p, all the pennies count. You know the rules. Yeah.
And he's done this in the past, by the way. Like, a lot of his career is built on this. Many times before, he's pretended to be in situations that real people are in every day. I mean, the main one that comes to mind was when he pretended to be homeless. And if you think that sounds sad, then wait until you see it.
Not too great, Aggie. I've recently become homeless. Currently in Central.
And in fairness, it's Beavo. I would believe this, and I probably still would if it wasn't for the fact that he got hammered on a stream, and he admitted to it all, which, as things to do following that go, this is probably the worst thing he could have done.
An example of thing.
Well, I went homeless for one day. I went to stay with Aggie and then I moved back in with my dad. So my mum did kick me out.
Oh, so that wasn't real?
No, I was homeless. Well, I wasn't homeless. I never was homeless.
What a cool, like, normal, relatable thing to do, Beavo. If there was ever any chance of him beating the victim allegations, then he burnt it with this interview. And the downward spiral that followed, you know, it is kind of nothing short of justified. Now, after the Whatever podcast, one of his hustles has been, like, making club appearances. UK nightlife is on the ropes, and I'm not sure a Beavo appearance is going to fix that. And I mean, the guy's a meme, so obviously, when you have a load of pissed up 18-year-olds, someone's probably going to take a pop, and that is exactly what's happened on multiple occasions.
And yeah, basically, 3 people decided to throw drinks at me for no other reason, because they think they're hard. They probably live in their mum's shed, play games 40 hours of the week, probably work about 10 hours a week. Well, that 10 hours a week money they probably spend on FIFA points.
Now, given that description, it might have been me that threw the bottle, and it feels like pure projection from Beavo, but that was actually the nicest thing he said in this clip, because what followed is maybe the weirdest power trip of all time.
Yeah, I just don't understand how people below me can hate me. And again, I never put people below me.
I don't put people below me, except, you know, that one time 2 seconds ago when I did put people below me. Beavo, I'll level with you. Putting people below you is something that you actually can't do. Like, genuinely, you might be the only person that can't do that to anyone. And by the way, this isn't even him misspeaking. He did continue to double down.
But in life, you're below me because I'm doing something and you're at clubbing.
They say don't bite the hand that feeds you, and to be fair, Beavo, you should not be biting anyone. You might have the bite force of an XL bully. We should probably get a muzzle on you, and if that stops you from speaking, it's double bonus, really. But the thought that he is better than anyone when his only purpose is to go on stage and dance around is crazy, but I also probably didn't need to tell you that. And this would have been enough, but he did continue to dig this hole deeper.
I'm not saying nothing wrong with clubbing. If you want to live your life clubbing, Do your thing. But yeah, I just don't understand how people below me can hate me.
I mean, normally when somebody has this level of ego, they normally at least have one thing to back it up. But Beavo, he got famous from swallowing potatoes. You would think that given that, he would at least try and keep himself grounded. But in the end, it kind of didn't matter, because he went on another tangent that somehow overshadowed this. He graduated to a bit of stalking, and I say a bit, a lot. If nothing else, I am actually kind of impressed at how good he is at digging his own grave.
But yeah, Sophia, if you're watching this, baby, I love you. I know you commented no on my picture, on my video, but I'm going to come get you, and I will find you. But I love you.
Yeah, so that might be grounds for a restraining order.
I'm going to come get you, and I will find you.
By the way, we should probably sort that sooner rather than later. And what followed this, by the way, was maybe the most menacing run in TikTok history. He made another account, and I think he has now since deleted it. I was just lucky enough to save some of these videos. But Beavo, he channeled Southgate, really. I mean, this is disaster class after disaster class.
And then someone threw a bottle at my head. And I've woke up and it really hurts. And I'm just thinking, like, why do people need to ruin my nightclubs? I'm trying to make some money.
So we got bottled again, and you know, we will find positives where we can. But I think this incident, it might have given him a traumatic brain injury. Because following this, he dipped straight back into the stalker talk. And I mean, Beavo, mate, you're actually not doing yourself any favours, really.
But yeah, it's going to be good. Trying to get some money up. Trying to get enough money to get up to Marv's to basically see what Sophia's doing. I think her pal's flying out before me. And then I might end up flying out there. So
it sounds good, mate. She's tried to escape you, but you should just probably follow her. She might love that. Maybe. She might pepper spray you, but you know what? It's probably worth the risk. I mean, it's not, but you know. And it even got to the point where he was making videos like this in public.
If anyone has seen her, let me know. I come to Durham to see if she was at home, but she's not. Her mum and dad are very worried as well. Yeah, I don't know what to do, but
I can guarantee every single person stood around him is shifting uncomfortably. At best, really. I mean, at worst, they are calling the police now.
Sophia's gone on a mad one. I don't know where she's gone. She didn't come home. I don't know if she's embarrassed with me or don't want to be associated with me anymore.
Why would she be embarrassed of you? I mean, granted, there was actually that one time where you asked her to make you bark.
Woof. Tell me to bark.
Fuck.
Woof, woof.
Yeah, so on reflection, it was probably that. Maybe, you know, it is an educated guess. And it's actually not an exaggeration, but he did make a whole series about this. Like, genuinely, there is more runtime than any other thing he's ever done online. And by the way, this is probably just another publicity stunt. I'm not naive to that, but also, at the same time, there is like an undertone of desperacy. This could, again, be 4D chess. But the more of these videos I watch, the less I believe that.
Like, Sophia, if you're watching this, please just come back. I love you. I don't know what's happened, but can we just sort this out? I just don't know why you've blocked me on your main and then you've made another one to spite me with all your link stuff. So listen, just message me, please unblock me.
Yeah, the best thing you can do when somebody leaves you is just beg for him, really. That's worked maybe twice. Ever. When I said this was a series, as you can now probably see, I wasn't lying. And with that in mind, I'll leave you with one more clip of him begging, because to be honest, I just can't stomach this anymore.
I don't get how people can say this is giving stalker vibes, yeah? The girl lives with me. She's my girlfriend, wife-to-be.
Yeah, she might not be your wife-to-be. Just let it go, Beavo. Again, put down your phone. And it's fair to say that the people in the comments, they had this same opinion. You need a break, Beavo. I heard Tenerife is nice this time of year. I mean, if you don't know, that is a reference to Jay Slater, this kid that went like missing in Tenerife. Side note, but I don't think Beavo could do a Jay Slater if he tried. The glint from his veneers alone, he's getting found in about 20 minutes. But the way it's looking now, these veneers might not stay in his mouth for long, because mid-recording for this video, a fight has been formally announced in what can only be described as a mid-off. Danny Aaron's versus Beavo is finally happening, and about 3 people globally right now are buzzing, and I'm happy for him, really. But with the way it's looking, this might not end well.
My time has come, boys. You know the rules. Listen, Beavo, Danny Aaron's 31st of August, Dublin. It's going to be a crazy fight, man. I'm training hard.
Now, he says he's training hard, and to be fair, I can imagine that he does fight demons every night. But I'm going to call bullshit on this, because a clip did emerge, and in the clip, he doesn't actually know the name of the gym where he trains.
Tell me where you're training out of.
Currently at the minute, don't even know. It's in Romford. Don't know, mate.
my trainer's name. Edge. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, no, I think it. Yeah, Edge.
I mean, why do I know that? Not you.
No, I don't. I turn up.
Yeah, this can only end well. By well, I mean this man is definitely being knocked out. There are some promo photos circulating too, and to be honest, they don't reassure me. This one, he does just look terrified. And in the other, I mean, that tattoo is criminal. It looks like it's done in like permanent marker or felt tip pen. Maybe Beavo, just wear long sleeve shirts from now on. But yeah, man, at the end of this, there was one final twist, and who could have seen this coming?
Way to Misfits 17 press conference. I am the Coco main.
Should we get a fit check?
I can't believe it. Someone said it was dead.
Well, Beavo, you really had me there for a second. Given the fake homeless stunt from earlier, this was obvious, and a lot of people did actually call it from early. But really, this is just another level of pathetic. I genuinely don't know what's worse, being a stalker or pretending to be one for cheap views. I mean, obviously, the act of stalking is so much worse. But either way, he is now back with his bride.
Big up the sugar mama and all. But yeah, we're back. We're cooking. It's gonna be fun. What do you expect?
She does not care, bro. She does not care. Yeah, man, at the end of this, let me know what you think about Beavo. People have been having their say in the TikTok comments. I bet her Beavo smells, you know, his words, not mine. Like and sub, or yours will too. And it won't, but you know what? There is no other way to end this video.
If you knew me, I'm a humble, normal guy walking the streets.
Yeah, in fairness to Beavo, every humble, normal guy I know does walk around in public with a chain with their own name on it. So you might remember Beavo. We've done maybe a video on him for every tooth he had before he went to Turkey last year. He blew up on TikTok for eating potatoes, and ever since then, he has basically been humbled for 8 months straight. It's getting really sad, to be honest, and if it wasn't for the things that I'm going to show you today, I would actually feel sorry for him.
What's up in TikTok, Beavo here? Listen, I just wanted some help.
Because for a man whose only discernible talent is eating food in like 4 bites, his ego is out of control and it's hard viewing. I'm not going to lie to you.
Everyone goes, Beavo, why are you not uploading no more on TikTok? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? Yeah, listen. Social media is a joke. I don't even like my job anymore, I'll be honest.
Now, in fairness, if I was ridiculed every day like Beavo is, I would also hate social media, but it is fully self-inflicted, and this man just keeps digging his own grave.
3 o'clock in the morning, just ordered a cheeky Macca's, yeah. Got a $3 PC set up. I've got clothes that I don't even wear. I've got jewels in the safe I don't even wear. If you knew me, I'm a humble, normal guy.
Flexing on children on TikTok at 3 AM. Beavo has taught me round. I mean, admittedly, at first, I thought he was a melt, but clearly I was wrong. Beavo clearly is the man.
Benefit yourself before you hate on someone else. I've done my graft. I've blown up. I've got my 1.4 million followers. I've got my $2.5 dog.
Come on, Beavo. You can't call her that. But the idea that Beavo is this grafter could not be any further from the truth, to be honest. I'll remind you again, Beavo's living is earned by just eating food in a weird way.
Big up Sophia going to New York. Hope you have a good time. But yeah, it's 8 out of 10. Big up the salt. Big up the Mexicans. Big up the tacos.
And not in a racist way.
And if he was genuinely humble, I feel like people would actually get behind him. Instead, though, he has this complex where he feels like he's transcended the working class. And that alone is obviously pathetic, but then it got worse, because it's getting to the point now where he is just openly mocking people that he deems to be below him. And I'll play the video, but this is where he went from sad to downright pathetic, in my opinion.
Hey, babe, you know I took you to London, yeah?
Yeah.
I've had to take you to somewhere very special because the views are dropping and everyone's saying I've fallen off. So, yeah, I've had to take you into the job centre.
I mean, first of all, I don't know why you're laughing. You might as well just pre-book your appointment for 2 years' time. And that's not going to go well either. I mean, as soon as they ask you what your skills are, I think they might ask you to leave.
I can't cook and I can't clean, but I can sew.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out. But this is the reality for a lot of people in this country. I'm sure a lot of people in there are just trying to support their families. The last thing anybody wants at the best of times is some turkey-toothed failed influencer coming in and recording them. But that's what he's done here, really. And honestly, I think this might be the video where Beavo has dug his grave forever.
Here we go. My views are dropped, so I need a job. Someone help me. If you knew me, I'm a humble, normal guy.
This is, by the way, by all accounts, where Beavo should be. Beavo genuinely has nothing to offer anyone, except, you know, maybe dentists in Turkey. And it's made worse by the fact that this is actually where Beavo was before he sold his soul.
Got my little green card when I was 15. I used to drive that machine. Look, get cameraman, get this. That machine right there. I used to drive. There was a big building here. We took it down. But listen, I want something to say to Mark. Mark,
the site manager, yeah, you said that I have a dead-end job.
So clearly he actually understands the struggle, but he still mocks it. Congratulations, Beavo. You have now alienated half the country. The guy is so substanceless, by the way, that he actually just looped this video 3 times so he can make money off it. He's a grafter. He did 20 seconds of work in one day.
Hey, babe, you know I took you to London, yeah?
It actually takes no talent to do what Beavo does. I think anybody watching this video could do it. Maybe punch yourself in the face a couple times first, but after that, you should be good. Because when you work a 9 to 5, you're trading your time for money. When you do what Beavo does for a living, you're trading your dignity for money. I know what I'd rather do, but tell me what you think. Either way, it's fair to say that this one didn't go down great. My guy pretended to be homeless for a GoFundMe and starts taking a piss out of people who actually help the homeless. My only defense for him would be that he is just probably stupid, but at the same time, that's no justification. Either way though, hopefully this does set in by the time he does have to go back there. And again, he has completely dug his own grave. This, idea is probably what he's best known for at this point, beyond the swallowing potatoes, that is. What a CV, man. What a CV. But whatever happens, you know, these clips just aren't going to age well. And I say they're not going to age well, as if they were even fine at the time.
So wait, I just want you to, just so that we're clear, look directly in that camera and tell 100 million men that they're slaves because they don't let other men chick for money and instead they have jobs. Go ahead.
Yes, if you want a good lifestyle and you don't let other people your missus, you're missing out and you're a slave.
If you knew me, I'm a humble, normal guy.
If this guy has a PR team, he should maybe fire him. And that point actually extends to the next clip, because even when he is actually quote-unquote working, it is somehow equally as painful to watch. And the bar is very low, but he still somehow manages to lower it consistently. I'll give credit where credit's due. To be fair to Beavo, he is the only man who can fall off to rock bottom and then still somehow fall off after that.
Wait, DJ, listen, you've come to my show and you're hating on me. My money's good. My money's good.
Beefing with 18-year-olds at a club night. I don't know how he manages to do it, but Beavo, fuck me, mate.
If you knew me, I'm a humble, normal guy.
I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is funny. Beavo has, in fairness, maybe found his intellectual opposite in a pissed-up 18-year-old. And he was getting disrespected in front of the troops, you know, he had to assert his dominance. Unfortunately, he did that in maybe the cringiest way possible.
My money's good. My money's good.
POV, you are a roast potato. The kid actually did get thrown out, which is also very funny. But as he was getting dragged out, he said maybe the most scathing thing of all time. Hopefully, what he says here has actually made Beavo think.
Oh, what, you're backing Beavo? My man swallows roast potatoes and you're backing him! My man swallows roast potatoes.
They turn the music off and all sat in silence after that. I mean, you've really got to reflect when you find out that you are indeed backing a man who just swallows roast potatoes for a living. And he said in that clip that the money is good, but there are actually other clips that seem to contradict this point.
I'm doing cameos anyway. If you want a cameo, get your orders in. I've dropped the price down to $30.
Yeah, my money's good, but could you also please, you know, send me some money? In fairness, I'd maybe do the same, although I do have nothing to sell. If you want to help out, you can like and sub instead. It's free. Save your money for Beavo, because he might need it. It's even getting to the point now where he's lost his talent for eating things in a weird way.
Big up the pigs. Big up the dad's cooking. Yeah, you know the rules. If you don't know, get to know. Beavo's here, Beavo's there, Beavo's everywhere. Get a bit of lighting. Oh. Big up the light.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what God said on the 7th day. Beavo might be God. I mean, maybe not, but maybe.
Big up waking up. Big up the pigs. Literally.
Yeah, it's fair to say that people are even disappointed in this now. I remember the real OG Beavo would have ate that full thing in 4 bites. He's lost his spark, really. I mean, where does he go from here? Other people, in fairness, are trying to let him down lightly. Beavo, just switch this off. Go out with some dignity left. Couldn't have said it better myself, really, although I'm not sure if there is much dignity there. And with what he did have left, he did actually try to cash it out and get involved with the influencer boxing scene. There were some promo photos that did drop, and all I'm really taking from this is he might have the worst tattoo of all time. Ironically, the guy he was supposed to be fighting against, Danny Aaron's, he also might have one of the worst tattoos of all time.
Because apart from the text that you can barely read now, definitely not in 10 years' time, he spelt his name with an apostrophe. Danny Aarons's.
If this was a tattoo off, then we could just maybe call it a draw. But real talk, if this had actually gone ahead, I would have actually feared for Beavo. Luckily for him, or maybe unluckily, through divine intervention, he actually hasn't got a fight anymore.
Thursday evening, I basically jumped off, fell out of bed, and dislocated my shoulder. And I basically had a seizure.
Now, weirdly enough, that was maybe one of the better things that happened to Beavo that week, which sounds crazy to say, but on some level, that might actually be true. Because on one hand, people did actually lay off him for a bit. Like, jokes aside, I'm glad you're okay, Beaver. I don't know what I'd do without you, really. More importantly, though, he now doesn't have to fight. Danny Aarons is not Mike Tyson, but in a ring with Beavo, he probably would have looked like him. And everything we've seen today is Beavo before getting punched in the head. I don't want to see what Beavo would be like after, and luckily, we're probably never going to have to find out. But with that said, and for some reason, he is actually now probing for another opponent.
This whole boxing, online boxing stuff, yeah, it's great. I love it. I was fortunate enough to get onto Misfits. Unfortunately, I had an injury. Didn't really clear it up. Had a seizure. The amount of DMs and the amount of people that wanted to fight me.
Beavo, you are 0-1 against the floor. I can imagine that everybody wants to fight you. I mean, you are one punch, Beavo. Even Jack's Fitness would probably bully you in the ring. I mean, with form like that, he's knocking out anyone, really. Jack's Fitness, I know I made a video on you, but please don't hurt me. You know, I've always thought you were cool, really. But back to Beavo, he's done being a nice guy. He is going to take no fight less than KSI at this point.
The amount of people that wanted to fight me with no following, no background. You've got 2 followers and not even a profile picture. You knew me, I'm a humble, normal guy.
I mean, obviously, I get his point. But at the same time, people don't want to fight Beavo for his prestige. You're just a free hit. And in fairness, given that, KSI might actually want to fight you. But yeah, man, I'm hearing that he's not going to be able to fight for at least a year anyway, so the dream is dead. This could have been Beavo's way out, but sadly, it was taken from him for better or for worse. And with that in mind, it looks like Beavo is indeed just going to go out sad.
Mate, I failed in life miserably. People think social media is fun and games. It's not. It's not. It's toxic. It's dreadful. Your love life gets ruined. Can't even have a love life by the sounds of it.
And to be honest, I would feel sorry for him if it wasn't for everything we've seen in this video. Because in fairness to Beavo, he has kind of been ostracised from all the UK YouTube cliques. That's clearly the direction he was trying to go in. But to be fair, given everything we've seen today, I don't really blame him. So it's looking like this one is going to be a sad ending. What a shame, really.
People only see your numbers. And once your numbers are gone, you're gone.
Like and sub, or you're going to end up like Beavo, really.